Welcome to Cinekuest Video.
Okay, and welcome to Cinekuest Video, the podcast that delves deep into those VHS classics to the modern day format and beyond. Okay, so today we are discussing round 2 of the Cornetto Trilogy, which is the movie Hot Fuzz, and according to legend, Roland's favorite movie.
Pretty much. It's up there.
No, you've cited this as your favorite movie a bunch, man.
According to legend. Yes. Yes. It's true. But continue, Ray. Go on. Regale me.
So, as mentioned before, this, according to legend, is Roland's favorite movie. It just so happened to fall on his birthday month. Wasn't intentional. The universe just aligned properly.
Those fucking
we can
reptiles.
talk about this movie at the exact same time as Roland's birthday month.
A reptile
and
overlord.
Blame it on the stars. Blame it on the planets.
Blame it on the probulators.
Blame it on the rain, like Milli Vanilli would have said. And you can also blame it on the elites, the reptiles, the reptilians. They probably had a hand in my mind and focusing it on the Cornetto Trilogy to happen.
Not
to
probably,
hit.
just more than likely. Yeah, it happened.
Well, that's the way it happened, and we're sticking to that. So, Roland, Hot Fuzz, favorite movie, huh?
Yes, and
spin some yarn about history of you with the Hot Fuzz.
Oh, I actually don't remember when I first watched it. Shit. Or where I was. I want to say I might have even was I at one of your apartments, Ray? No.
At one of my apartments?
Well, one of the ones you lived at the time.
What movie? When did this movie come out?
Oh, like was it 2007? I don't remember where I was when I first saw it. But
yeah, let's say you didn't see it at the movies.
No,
right.
No, I didn't.
I believe I saw it at the movies, and I'm sure I rented it at some point. I'm sure Hollywood Video was still around at the time. So I went to go rent it, and it was probably at the apartment.
I mean, whenever the hell Netflix put it on their service when they had it, I pretty much just started watching it like every other day for, I don't know, a couple months, something like that.
I don't think there's another movie in the world that has grabbed your attention for that long, Roland.
It's a pretty short list. Yeah, that's one of them, and I fucking love it. I mean, I'm a pretty big fan of Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. I've seen most of the movies that, if not all of the movies that Simon Pegg has been in, and a lot of his fucking TV cameos as well. One of my favorites is actually the series that we talked about when we were reviewing Shaun of the Dead. That dickhead David is in Black Books.
Right.
Both Simon Pegg and Nick Frost have cameos or guest appearances in, I think, 2 different episodes. Nick Frost is like a door repairman. Then he installs like this fucking like high-tech door.
That was a security system that fucking Bernard couldn't operate.
Yeah, because he's an idiot. And so like at one point, Bernard gets locked out of the store. I forget how it goes, but like, yeah, so Nick Frost is the fucking door install guy, and he's just there trying to show him how to make it work and stuff. And he gives him the passcode, and it's like 78657777762 or some stupid shit number. And in another episode, Simon Pegg's character, he's the manager of a rival bookstore that opens up like right next to theirs, and he's like a really like like a sort of like a what the hell is the word? Like a sinister fucking like plucky manager that's one of those like, come on guys, let's all get together and develop like a team. Oh, what are you doing over there? George, why aren't you a part of the team? Is there something wrong with you, George? He has like that crazy fucking like psychopath fucking tone that comes and goes with his I guess happiness or whatever the fuck. Like, it's hard to describe. It's pretty funny though. And like I thought that was just a funny bit that they ran through there. And let's see, one of my other favorite cameos for Nick Frost. He's actually one of them. I think I've told you guys about this before. He ends up being like a co-star off and on at one point, but it was in the series Into the Badlands, and they flat out like turn him into like a fucking East Orthodox monk or something like that. Like he's one of those. He becomes like he's basically a Shaolin monk in this one with his accent, but like he ends up leaving the monastery and becoming like a fucking pirate, and like he's just badass. Like, he's fucking funny and cool, and they get his fat ass flipping around like beating the shit out of people like Sammo Hung or
I don't think I've ever seen that show.
It's a cool series. AMC already discontinued it, but it only has 2 or 3 seasons. I think it was 3 before they ended it. I don't know why they didn't think it was good. Like, it's fucking tons of people getting murdered, like badass action scenes, and like post-apocalyptic future kind of stuff. So like, it hits all the fucking boxes on my checklist for shit that I'm gonna fucking watch. And I mean, yeah, like everything else Simon Pegg has been in, I've tried to watch. Nothing's coming to mind, but like the one movie.
Did you like his character that he portrays in Star Trek?
Yes, as fucking
yeah, he was a pretty good Scotty.
As fucking thought. Scotty, yeah, I thought he was. Definitely. I mean, like, I thought he was one of the. Yeah, I thought he was one of the better parts of the movie. Seeing him there, because he's just a funny guy and a good actor.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, overall those Star Trek movies, like the first one was a lot of fun. Wrath of Khan Part 2 was okay. And then Beyond was
the third one was like, yeah, it was pretty like fucking bland. I wanted it to be more interesting, and it just wasn't. So yeah, like going back to Hot Fuzz, this is one of the only Simon Pegg. I think the only Simon Pegg movie that I've watched more than like once or twice. And by more than once or twice, I mean like I've watched this movie a fuck ton. At one point, like, I would visit my brother up in San Antonio, and I'd just fall asleep to this movie every night, like, sort of thing. And like that's how they would know I was gonna pass out on the couch or whatever. Like, it'd be like midnight or 2 a.m. I'd turn on Hot Fuzz and like, okay, he's gonna go to sleep. Yeah. Because I would.
You must have fell asleep before every scene that they have Cornetto in. Rolling.
I mean, no. Because like I would go to sleep, but like it was
an hour and a half in, so I would imagine so. But
so I would sleep through it, but I would always remember parts of the movie, and at some points, like I would have dreams where like I could hear the fucking, I could hear the dialogue in my head. So. I usually end up watching the whole movie in some way or another before I fell asleep. And yeah, I don't know. Like this movie makes me laugh my ass off. There's just so many things about it that I fucking find hilarious. I mean, Nicholas. What's his name of his character? Nicholas Angel. Angel.
Yeah, it's Angel.
And
they keep calling him Angle at some point.
Right, yeah, because of
the typo in the
newspaper.
Yeah. So. Before we continue on, let's just get a quick synopsis of this movie. For those of you who've never seen it, and Roland, if you want to do it, be my guest.
I mean, a skilled London police officer is transferred to a small town with a dark secret. So
basically, this movie is a parody of action movies. It's kind of like Shaun of the Dead was parody of zombie movies.
Right. This is a parody of movies like, like they even mention it in their Point Break and Bad Boys 2.
Yeah.
Were pretty much like two of the main movies that they parody the living fuck out of here.
I mean, in fact, they're watching both Bad Boys 2 and
so apparently it was really funny. Yeah, when they go into what the hell is his name? Into Danny Butterman's house. That's Nick Frost's character. Like he's been living in that place. I think it's an apartment or a house. I think it's an apartment. But he's been living there for a couple of years, and he still has his shit in boxes around. But his fucking DVD collection is like pristine and like alphabetized, and like it's got its own fucking room. He like pulls this fucking like it has like double sliding doors on either side. He just fucking draws them apart, and you just see like wall to wall fucking collection of DVDs everywhere. Apparently those belonged to the director, I think. That's what I was reading. That was his actual
By the Power of Greyskull.
Yeah, that was I mean, so like the references are fucking great. The guy that plays the farmer guy, the farmer dude that's out in the middle of nowhere, who
the one with all the guns?
Yeah, the one with all the guns. He plays another favorite of mine in The Color of Magic. He plays Cohen the Barbarian, and in this one he's like a muttering, stuttering, fucking like geriatric old dude with a shitload of guns, and yeah, like he had a pretty funny cameo, and let me think. There are a lot of really cool actors in this movie. Fucking Martin Freeman's in here. Bill Nighy. What's her name? She has a cameo. Shit, I was just trying to think about her. She plays Janine, Angel's ex-girlfriend. It was she doesn't even have her face come out. Like she's wearing a mask, and she's like got like one and a half.
Who was that?
That was oh fuck, I know who she is. She super fucking famous. Kate Blanchette. Yeah, she was uncredited.
Oh, word.
Oh, really?
Okay.
That was fucking Kate Blanchett. Yeah, it's the funniest shit. Like looking at her, I'm like, why do I recognize that intense those goddamn eyes? Like, oh. And like apparently the thief that was dressed as Santa, that was Peter Jackson. That's fucking oh man, there are just like a ton of fucking cameos. Nick Frost and Simon Pegg's mothers were in the movie. They played like the judges for the contest at the fair.
Oh wow, that's
nice.
The fucking the other character from fucking Black Books is in here. He's the co-star. He plays plays himself twice.
Sergeant. Yeah.
Right. He plays the twin sergeants or whatever. And let me see who else. I mean, fucking Timothy Dalton is the goddamn villain. He has some of the best lines. He's like, what is his intro when he?
I'm a slasher, and I must be stopped.
I must be stopped. He's like, I must be stopped. I'm a slasher. Prices. Yeah. Yeah.
It's his line as he leaves. Yeah. The line as he leaves is just as good. And he's like, catch
me next time.
My discounts are criminal.
Yeah. Yeah, this movie has a ton of fucking like awesome actors in there. Did I mention what the fuck was the guy? The name of
fucking Olivia Colman's in there.
Yes, she's hilarious in everything she does.
Hasn't she gotten like some awards recently for that.
I don't know.
Whatever, like Elizabeth show or whatever she's on.
Oh, I don't know what she's doing.
Is that
now.
the girl? That's the girl that keeps on saying like, "Check out his arse."
Yeah, no.
Yeah. She's the dirty, like, yeah, I could use some manpower chick. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't mind. What does she say? I like myself a midnight gobble, and then the old man next to her, Cox. Like, she's always saying like just really fucking suggestive shit. She plays Doris Thatcher.
But she herself, Ray, if you don't know who she is apart from like this movie, is she's a really famous like.
Isn't she? Was she the one that came out in Peep Show?
Yeah. She was in Peep Show.
I forgot you watched Peep Show as well. Yeah. So she's alongside Robert Webb and Mitchell, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She.
One of the lines she gives towards
like
the end.
Or she did a drama where it was like covering the life of like Queen Elizabeth, and then I think Matt Smith was in that too as like Prince Philip or some bullshit.
Yeah, The Crown.
Yeah. There you go.
Right. I think so. Yeah, I remember catching a clip of it. No, she's pretty accomplished, but she's also fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, I mean the shit that she did with Mitchell and Webb and Martin Freeman in Bruiser was hilarious back in the day.
Let's see. So okay, I guess the main sort of synopsis to the story is like I mentioned, he what happens is that apparently Angel is such a badass cop that the London police are like, all right, you're making us look bad. We're gonna promote you. We're gonna make you a sergeant. And he's like, awesome, finally, I'm making. And they're like, yeah, in the boondocks. And he's like, what? Like, yeah. So like, you're too cool for us. Like, fucking one of the commissioners tells him, he's like, you can't be the sheriff of London. And he's like, what?
Yeah, it was like the chief inspector who brought up his arrest rate being like 400% over like every other officer.
yeah. Like they call in. Hold on, let me fucking bring it up here. They call in. So Bill Nighy, Martin Freeman, and Joe. No, not Joe Cornish. Oh fuck. It was the other inspector.
What was the dad in Shaun of the Dead? Because what's his name?
That's
that was like the chief inspector or whatever.
That's Bill Nighy.
Bill Nighy. Okay.
Yeah,
he's like the last person they bring in, though, right?
Right. I mean, so like it starts off with the sergeant, which is Martin Freeman, and then he calls in. Fuck, I'm trying to remember the guy's name.
They called him the inspector, and then I think like it was chief inspector.
Yeah, but it's played by the guy from.
I can't remember his fucking name.
From Hamlet 2. Fuck, what's his name?
He's a director in Tropic Thunder, also.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Fuck, what is he? I think he's Steve Coogan. He's
there you go.
Yeah, because he's uncredited. So like, okay, he meets Martin Freeman. Martin Freeman's like, okay, he tells him like, we're gonna move you, and Angel's like, I think I want to talk to like our your boss, like the commissioner, not the commissioner, but like the lieutenant. And they're like, okay, and then boom, like Coogan is there instant, and he's like, hey, how's it going? And you're like, oh, I heard. How's your hand? Because they keep asking him like, how's his hand? Because he'd just been stabbed by Santa or whatever and was recovering. And same thing. He's like, oh, it's okay. Well, how's the girlfriend? We broke up. Well, I guess you're packed and ready or whatever to go. And they're like, again, he's like, I don't.
Well, no, it's because that's like where he's living, and he's living like in the rookies' barracks or whatever. So right, we're already packed and ready to go. Good. Right, it's freaking funny, man.
And then he's like,
I don't know what to say. Like,
he's like,
thank
you wanna, right? Thank you. Yes, thank you. You're welcome. And he's like, no, I want. He's like, you want to take it to the top? And they just call they just call Bill Nye. What do they call him by his first name or something? They're like fucking, John or some shit. I don't remember.
And he just so happens to be standing there.
He's instantly there. He's just like, they all stand up. He takes their seat and he's like, yeah. You've been making us look really bad. And Simon Pegg is just like, what? Yeah. So we're going to move you. And Simon Pegg is like, you can't do that. He's like, I'm the chief inspector. Yes, like,
he said you just can't make people disappear. He said, I'm the chief inspector. Of course I can, or something like that.
He's like, yes, I can. Like, I'm the chief inspector. and fucking Pegg's character is just like, well, you haven't taken one thing into account, and that's what the team will say. And he just stands up and fucking walks into the main room where all of the rest of the policemen are there.
Yeah, they're all like, goodbye, fuckers.
Yeah, they've got to fucking sign up, and they're all wearing hats and shit, and they're just like, yay! And he's like, fuck, boom, and that's when he gets sent out into the country, and he meets everybody that's there. He fucking meets Danny Butterman, who's the son of the chief there, by arresting him because he gets drunk in a bar and crashes his car, nearly killing Angel. In the process, and so he gets out of the way and he's like, all right, we're going to jail. And
I'm surprised he didn't bring that up at all. Like, he just was placed him under arrest for being intoxicated and attempting to drive a vehicle and driving a vehicle.
Because he's a badass. He's
attempted murder.
Right. So like the first night he goes to the bar and he's just introducing himself to everyone. The owners of the bar are just like, hey, how's it going? Do you want a drink? He's like, I'll take a cranberry juice. And they're like, okay, whatever. And that's like one of my favorite scenes in the movie is like that's when he's reading his newspaper and he kind of puts it down. He starts looking around because he's hearing people talk around him, and he looks around and he sees a bunch of fucking kids drinking beer. Like, you see like just children, at one point there's this one kid with glasses and braces who has like this horrible fucking horse laugh. Ha 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 ha. Like, it's so fucking annoying. And like the light reflects off of his braces and it blinds him. Yeah. Like, he's just looking at everyone, like listening to them talk, and he's seeing like, these are kids. And then you see fucking jackass laugh or whatever, with the fucking blinding light reflecting off his braces into his eyes. And that's the last straw. He's just like, oh, fuck this. And he starts like, hey, I'm a cop. Like, how old are you? And it's like, this one guy's like, June 17th, 1969. Like, you're 37? Yes. Out. Like,
when's your birthday? February 16th. What year? Every year.
Get out. And then he gets up to the fucking like braces kid and he's like, what does he say? Oh fuck! He just walks up to him and he's like,
doesn't he just ask him what his birthday was? He barely
grills him. Yeah,
he doesn't say anything. Yeah, like he doesn't say anything to the kid to Braceface. Like he just walks up to him and the kid is like, oh, he's like, out. And so like when it's over, the only people left in the bar are Danny and him. And like the owners are just super pissed. Like, can we get you another cranberry? He's like, no, I'm good. So he's like fucking flipping through his newspaper. And yeah, then like he finds Danny, takes him to jail, picks up a couple of other kids on the way. One of them, like the pissed off ginger that tells him his birthday is every year, like, is literally pissing on his shoes at one point when he picks him up and brings him in. He's just like on the sidewalk or whatever, and he like walks up to him and he's like, what are you doing? And he just turns to him and does like midstream and just keeps pissing. So he brings all of them in. Right, and this guy is so fucking straight edge and like, like stick up his ass kind of person that when one of the inspectors or the sergeants or whatever, the cop that's there at the front desk is like, are you going to process all these guys? Like, we don't have pens, or like, this pens don't have enough ink. And Angel's like, oh, it's okay. Click, click. I brought my own. And he starts fucking right. Yeah. Like he's fucking loading a gun. He just starts fucking like filling out forms and shit. And then like he goes back home, gets up, comes in, and goes in to pick up Danny. He's like, "Hey, open the door. Let for cell like 3 or 4 or whatever." And he opens it and it's empty. He's like, "Hey, where's the inebriate?" Like, and Danny like behind him is like, "What happened?" Like wearing the police officer outfit. And he's like, "Why are you dressed like a policeman?" He's like, "'Cause I am." Completely sober and everything. Like, and that's when he fucking goes and meets his father, the chief inspector, and all the other characters. Like a lot of the recurring characters from the Cornetto trilogy are here. The Andes, the two fucking inspectors that are like, they have some of the funniest lines in the whole movie.
I'm trying to remember where they came out in Shaun of the Dead.
I think they were the other group of weren't they in the other group of survivors when they meet up? I know.
Oh, the ones that are like
was
the
in
other
there.
version of themselves, kind of.
Yeah. I thought they were in there. I mean, I could be mistaken, but let me see.
Surprisingly, those guys are like big assholes in this whole movie, but they're also pretty funny though. The way they
Andy Wainwright and Andy Cartwright.
Their arrogance is pretty funny.
I fucking love the Andys in this movie, man.
They are fucking hilarious. Like at one point when like Angel was selected to read out the winners of the contest at the fair, like they're both just there. What does he say? Shit, like one of them just yells out "wanker," and like he tries to do it under his breath, but it's still like super fucking loud. What the fuck else? Like they just have a fucking hilarious lines. I'm trying to find.
I like when they're telling him like everyone in their like there's more guns here in the country than there are in the city.
Right, they're in the city. Everyone and their mums is packing around here. Like who? Farmers? Who else? Farmers' mums.
Yeah, farmers' mums. Yeah.
Let's see.
Actually, like most of their quotes are on.
They're on
IMDb here.
Yeah, you see here. I didn't mean to upset the apple cart. And, oh yeah, because we all sell apples around here, don't we? Your dad sells apples, Andy, and raspberries. Let me see. I was trying to find one. Right. So it's the next one when they come across. Is it the first murder after the play that goes on, and the main stars are like decapitated? What does they tell them? In the meantime, why don't you check out a few of Martin Blower's clients? Martin Blower represents damn near most of the village. Do you want us to go through the whole phone book? He's like, yeah, we'll put a call into Aaron. And that turns out, and it turned out to be a real kid. And like, they're just like, at the end of the movie, it turned out to be a real kid. And Simon Pegg's character, when he finds out his name, is like, huh? Like, no. And that's when he replies, Angel's like, please don't be childish. At least consider interviewing the widow. Martin Blower was clearly having an affair with Eve Draper. Oh, and how do you establish that? Because we sat through 3 hours of so-called acting last night, and the kiss was the only convincing moment in it. That's when Danny jumps in, like pounds the table to say the same thing that fucking Nicholas said about the movie, but he had his thing. And then Andy is like, all right, pipe down, biggin. What else have you got, Crockett and Tubby? And then Angel's like, skid marks. And then that's when they reply, now who's being childish? There were no skid marks in the scene. Yeah. I love the Andes in this movie. They're pretty fucking hilarious. They just talk endless amounts of shit, and they're kind of big pussies too. Like they don't really do anything. I think at one point, one of them gets slammed in the face with like spaghetti sauce, and he's like, ah! And they're like, oh, it's just bolognese. I'm okay.
Oh yeah, no, because the one Andy, I thought that scene was sweet actually, because he was just like, no, my buddy got fucking hit, and he's like, no, it's okay, it's just bolognese.
Big morons. Fucking Nicholas Angel goes through this town. He gets there and he's going about his business, just finding that it's boring as fuck. People are not up to anything, and like he turns out to be completely wrong. There's a fucking bunch of unexplained murders that start happening.
Well, I mean, he's pretty suspicious from the get-go.
Yes, but the thing is that like that was as a product of his training, not necessarily a product of having like a reasonable suspicion for anything. He's just like, why is that guy walking, or why is that guy wearing a coat? And Danny's like, because he's fuck ugly. You know, like, oh, okay. What's wrong with this guy? Lurch? He's...
Yeah, Dad says he's got a child's mind.
Right, yeah. And he's like an 8 foot tall fucking like, you know, ghoul or whatever.
He lives with his mom and his sister. Are they as big as she is? She is?
Right.
Who? His mom and sister?
Person.
Same person. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, Timothy Dalton is fucking hilarious. Sissy, his first name is Sissy. And they make fun of that at one point.
No, that's his nickname because he studied ballet when he was a teenager.
Wasn't his first name wasn't it like Gaylord or something? Forgot. Like I
know they mentioned that at some point, but I'm going back to...
No, I think the Andy's just being assholes calling him Gaylord.
I mean, they probably were, but he just like Skinner just sort of like plays it off like, well, yeah, like whatever. So yeah, his name was Simon Skinner. Yeah. That's right. They call him Sissy.
My nickname is only a revelation to you, officer, because
because he grew up with that shit, and so yeah, he's got great lines. There's a fair amount of action in this movie. When it does kick up, like I mean, there's a fucking car chase scene. There's like a shootout scene. Like a fucking grandma gets her face kicked in. I
gotta say, man, like Timothy Dalton, played a hero in 2 movies, but the movies I like,
he's a great villain.
He's a fucking villain, and he's great.
Right, fucking Rocketeer, and this movie.
Yeah,
he's a really good villain. Like he just has that like sort of that villainous fucking streak, or he's got the arched eyebrows and
he's got like the perfect delivery for his lines
and that very arch mustache of his that he doesn't have to twirl because it's just arch enough without being all like handlebar-y.
Right. Yeah. What is it? Let's see. I'm trying to look for some of his lines.
Well, we talked about his introduction to when he talks about he's a slasher to be locked up. My discounts are criminal.
And then when they're talking to Blower and his leading lady, he's like, I'm sure there's all sorts of secrets that would come spinning in your head if you got bashed in or whatever.
Right.
Like,
if we just bashed in your head, all sorts of secrets would come tumbling out. At another point when Angel's visiting him at his local supermarché store, he's talking about how another murder victim or soon-to-be murder victim owns a rival store, and he says, we've been losing a lot of customers to so-and-so, like down the street. May their heads be struck from their shoulders for such disloyalty.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious. So Angel slowly figures out that there's a huge fucking like citywide conspiracy to keep this town perfect, because as it turns out, like the town like wins a lot of awards for being like the the nicest fucking village or whatever the fuck out in the sticks, and they apparently will kill to keep that fucking
well, we haven't even gotten to the twist quite yet.
Which twist? Like,
well, the twist about the town, Roland. I mean,
that was like how the plot that.
That turns out. I mean, it's kind of long-winded.
Well,
going on is not the plot, but we haven't even established the first plot yet.
I mean, so basically, Angel's like going around, kind of questioning all these murders that happen around town.
Right. Yeah. And
he's trying to like piece them all together, or has like some suspicion about them.
They're all sort of. Reasoned away as accidents.
Yeah, because apparently the town has a low murder count, but there's like a very high accident. Yeah,
Right.
and their accident count is like fucking high as shit.
Right.
Because they count every like murder, every death almost as an accident.
One woman apparently like fell on her garden shears and like impaled herself. Another guy like
is this a movie an allegory for coronavirus?
Yeah. I mean, it was that far ahead of its time by a cool 13 years. So what happens to the other guy? Another guy gets
you can kind of chuckle and sneer that away, Roland, but the plans for domination have been in planning for a very, very long time.
Well, we should all be so lucky. Maybe something will change. I mean, could it get any worse? Maybe.
Well, in this movie, it does get a lot worse.
Well, yeah. Like the deaths become more and more gruesome each time.
Yeah, and they still kind of attribute it to accidents and brush them under the rug because.
Do you guys have like a favorite death scene?
I'm gonna say mine is when that part of the church
falls on the
fucking head.
Falls on the reporter's head.
Yeah, and just pretty much obliterates his head.
So that was when the movie kind of like took the darkest turn to me, even though I think that was the second or the third murder, or was that I think it was
like
the
the fourth one. Actually,
was it?
Yeah.
So it was the first. The first murder was the which I thought was the actors.
The actors, yeah.
And then
those two got killed.
Right, and then it was the store owner from the rival store, I think.
No, he wasn't a rival store owner. He was a George Merchant who was
the
guy in the refrigerator business, and he got iced because what our good officer.
Oh, because they didn't like his house.
Yeah, it was just.
Yeah, it didn't go well with like the aesthetic of everything else.
So I hadn't gone into like explaining what exactly happened or why the reasoning. I was just because that all comes together like how you said,
right?
You know, the huge twist.
Yeah.
So so they kill George Merchant second, and then they kill
I
thought she was the last one to be killed.
No, I thought the reporter was.
The reporter was the last one?
Yeah.
No, the reporter was the third or fourth murder.
Yeah, because
the flower chick was the last one.
Yeah, because after she goes down, like that's when they're like, okay, we need to fucking investigate this and this and this and this, and that's when he goes and approaches Skinner.
Well, they were even like acting like that was it
was an accident.
An accident, but he was like, I chased the guy who did it.
They're
out
like,
of the building.
Yeah,
but then
the town folks, they were like, oh, well, she tripped on her shears. No problem. It's another accident.
Yeah. And so that's when he starts to kind of like get very suspicious and sort of.
Actually, he's Nicholas Angel is going to be probably the last person to get killed, but that gets fucked up.
Oh, yeah. Like, he would have probably been the last death before this election cycle for the best village award or whatever. Yeah.
So he's trying to like figure out what ties all of these murders together, and he doesn't like I mean, not until basically he sort of accidentally stumbles on what seems to be basically a village council cult, because what happens is that the cult leaders send in somebody to kill Angel, and he survives and tricks them to sort of telling him where they're going to meet, and so he goes there, and that's when he fucking meets everybody on the village council, and then he's like, what the fuck, you know? What is this shit? Like, you got to be kidding me. Why are you guys all here? And then that's when they're like, oh, well, we killed this guy because, and they start telling him, like, explaining things. Well, this guy was putting typos in the newspaper, so obviously he fucking had to go. Like, these other two people were terrible fucking actors, and to their credit, that is to say, to the killer's credit, they were right. Like that fucking play was the dumbest shit was it Romeo and Juliet? And at one point, Juliet pulls out like a fucking pistol, and instead of taking poison,
love me, say that you love me.
Yeah, she takes the poison out of Romeo's lips, and then puts a gun to her head and says bang, and like that's how she dies. And then
what did they say? Like they murdered Shakespeare or some shit like that.
Yeah, well, they murdered Bill Shakespeare. Yeah,
exactly.
So they deserve to die.
Then the garden lady is like,
she was killed because she was trying to sell off her land to make big
because
bucks, because they didn't want her flower growing ability to go to another town.
Right. They wanted to keep their green thumb for themselves. And then they killed George Merchant because he's an asshole, and like his house didn't fit in with the rustic appeal.
Yeah, the rustic aesthetic, as they call it.
Aesthetic, thank you. Yes. That's what he gets for having a normal house.
I mean, you think there's like some kind of like bigger plan in the connection, but it's just because they don't like these very subtle things. Yeah, it's very petty.
Very petty. Like, and then when fucking Angel runs away, like he falls into like sort of an underground, not really, I guess there'd be like a crypt maybe, or a mausoleum, and that's when he finds like everybody that they fucking murdered, like the kids in the beginning of the movie that he arrests.
Well, and also the people that they talk about that ruined the community beforehand.
So, like, all the people before, like, so his predecessor that he talks about also there, like
even the living statue.
Right, the living statue they fucking hate. They fucking hate that guy, the mime statue dude. He's dead. The old man that they confiscated all the guns from, if I'm not mistaken, he was also dead. Yep. What else am I forgetting? Like
the gypsy travelers. They have down there and shit.
Their fucking mobile home or whatever. Their campers there too. It's like, what the fuck? And they fake stab Nicholas in the chest, and Danny saves him, takes him out of town, and he's like, you gotta go. And he starts, when Angel starts to leave, he has his, like his fucking point break moment or whatever the hell you want to call it. And he goes to a store, and what is he gonna buy? Like some he was gonna buy, I think he was gonna just buy gas, and he ends up buying like a pair of aviator sunglasses, and they're like, can I help you with anything? He's like, no, this is something I need to do by myself, like talking to a random fucking kid that has no idea what the fuck he's talking about. And that's when he goes back and like basically attacks the town. And like they play on the joke where it's like, everybody and their mom has guns down here. Every one of them fucking have guns. The woman on the bicycle, like with a fucking like picnic basket.
That shit was so funny.
Two fucking like pistols out of
her face, and her like just blasting away on the fucking bike. I couldn't let myself. The fucking priest at one point is like, can't we stop all this mindless violence? And then they're like, what did they tell him? They're like, I may not be very religious, but I know I know right from wrong and
what's
wrong
good and
from right.
Yeah, right. And I have
the good grace to know the difference.
Right, know the difference between the two.
And then he's like, "Oh, fuck off, grasshopper!" And he pulls out. He has like wrist-mounted pistols or some shit. I forget what it was. And so, that's at one point. Danny like opens the door when the girl on the bicycle is biking by, like firing at Nicholas, and he opens the door and she just slams into it and just like fucking face plants into the pavement. And that's when he gets up, and they're like, all right, Bad Boys 2 moment. He throws him a fucking shotgun and like,
when they start blasting on people, like they're intentionally trying not to kill them.
Yeah.
Like they're just shooting them like off the shoulder.
They're not fucking around.
No, so like the villagers are trying to kill them, but they're not trying to shoot them out, like murder them outright. Nicholas
he takes a bunch of shoulder shots,
Yeah.
And like that one lady who yells out like fascist and starts like blasting away with her machine
the old
gun.
lady who owns the hotel that he's staying at. She yells fascist as she pulls out a German machine gun.
hag.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
But the hit that she takes after he shoots like the plant above her, hits her in the head and like slams into the car.
Dude,
like,
that's she's dead. He cracked her skull and smashed her face, and her husband like pulls a fucking like cutlass or whatever and tries to like sword fight against Angel, and I forget how he takes him out. I think he shoots him in the foot or some shit.
He sweeps the fucking leg.
He just sweeps his fucking leg. The doctor that delivered Danny is like, I delivered you, Danny, and I can take you out of this world. And I think Danny just like drops the gun because like at that moment he has them both like at gunpoint. He's like, put down the weapon. He drops the gun and it fucking shoots him in the foot, and he just like falls over. And what do they tell him? Like, walk it off, or what does he say?
Like you're a doctor, like
yeah, you're a doctor. Deal with it. And then he does the bad boys
with
too.
The pellet scene though too.
Yeah, he shoots him again. Only this time with an actual gun. And then he's like, you're a doctor. You'll live, or you'll get through it. And Danny's like, yeah, motherfucker. The fucking quoting, was it Martin Lawrence or I forget who from Bad Boys 2.
Bad Boys, yeah.
Supposedly
his like line delivery, especially like just going back whenever they're actually watching Point Break.
Yeah.
And that scene with Keanu Reeves as he's shooting up in the air and screaming.
Oh, yeah, they reenact that as well in the movie. And that was also really funny because you knew that was coming, and like,
oh yeah, for sure.
They did it in a way that was just like, okay, yeah, he's distraught because his father, the chief, is one of the people that's behind the entire plot. And he's like,
well, you could argue he started the plot because it was his wife that bumped herself off after they lost that town competition.
Right. Yeah. Out of depression, she fucking like suicides herself, and then like everything went to shit after that. So you're right. Yeah. Danny has that moment where like he has to shoot his father because his father's running away like to the car, and then Danny just like puts the gun up to there. No, bam, bam, bam. He's just like, doing his fucking Point Break thing. Yeah, like there's really nothing. I'm probably gonna watch this movie again while when we're done here. I had it on earlier, but I had family around, so they were kind of like ruining it for me. Just like, damn it, really?
They don't understand the genius behind this fucking movie.
Yeah, well, no. I've shown it to a few people here and there, and they're always just like, "Oh, cool, it's a movie." Like, no, it's not. You just forfeited your permission, your position here. Get the fuck out. We're gonna watch, like YouTube now. Go away. No, like they, as being a part of the Cornetto Trilogy, they have that one moment where, I think it was the first time that, or maybe the second murder that Nicholas's character is like just pissed and like annoyed that he can't figure out what the hell is going on, and Danny just asks him, "Do you want anything from the store?" And he's like, "Cornetto," and they go and they fucking get the.
And there's the tie-in, everyone. The tie-in to the Cornetto Trilogy.
Yep. One solitary moment in the entire fucking movie.
One line. Someone just has to say the word Cornetto, and there it is.
Boom. Part of the trilogy. It's magic.
So this is part 2 of our Apocalypse trilogy of sorts.
It's a Cornetto Trilogy.
We already did the Apocalypse trilogy, and whatever. Yeah, there aren't 5 of them rolling.
The whole thing about this was that like the world's going to shit, and in all 3 of these.
Well, in this case, it's not the world; it's just a small town.
Right, but like that could be argued that that's their world because they've apparently been able to push this shit for 20 years without anyone being
speculation land. Are we there already?
That's right. I went there with half a beer to go. So I see Jamie's still there on the video.
That's right. As far as this movie is concerned, Roland, we'll just kind of throw it out there. What's your favorite scene in this movie, if you haven't talked about it already?
Shit. My favorite scene in the movie. I mean, I really like the shootout scene, particularly when they go into the actual supermarket and fight Lurch and the two fucking like cooks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's really funny when Doris Thatcher's character, Doris Thatcher, that was what's her name's Olivia Colman's character, gets in a fight with the one woman that works at the supermarket. Like she's like running at him, screaming.
Like Timothy Dalton's assistant.
Right, Timothy Dalton's assistant.
Well, she basically like clotheslined that chick.
Yeah, so like she picks up
with like a wet sign, right?
Yeah, she picks up one of those wet signs and just slams it in her face and just knocks her the fuck over. And she's like, "What did she say? Little girl on girl action, haha!" And they're like,
girl action." Yeah, I love. Yeah. Actually, that's one thing I love about this movie. They're like laughing at perverse shit.
Yeah, because it's childish humor that they just like they can't help themselves. You know, she could have said caca or whatever, and Ray would have been right there laughing.
Oh yeah, I would have fucking started laughing my ass.
So my favorite scene...
Actually, just a little side note. I was watching a show, and one of the guys in the show says, "Hold on, guys, I gotta go caca," and they all just kind of give him this strange look, and I fucking started laughing because he said fucking caca, man.
Stupid.
It is stupid.
Fuck. I'm trying to think about my favorite scenes. Shit, it's kind of tricky because I pretty much like everything. I'd have to say if I wanted to pick a favorite anything, like it would be the scene, any of the scenes with the fucking Andes, because they are fucking hilarious. Shit. What else? Yeah. Any of the scenes with the Andes, like when they're first introduced to them, like when they talk to them later and make the skid marks jokes after the first murder of the actors. When they meet them again in the bar, when they talk to them at the fucking fair and they're just like shit talking everyone. And even in the end of the fucking movie when they're at the supermarket and they're becoming buddy cops or whatever with Simon Pegg's character, and they're like, "Don't go being a twat now," and he's like, "I wouldn't give you the pleasure, or I wouldn't want to give you the pleasure," and they're like, "Ha ha," like idiots. So yeah, I don't really have a favorite scene. I would have to pick them as like my favorite characters though, because all the scenes they're in are fucking hilarious.
All right.
Yeah, that's as close as I can get.
I'll have to say the same thing. I was literally going to say any part when the Andes are in, or any scene where Timothy Dalton's in, like it's probably having them on the screen. Second. I think my favorite.
He has great.
One of my favorite parts is, and I think I mentioned this already, when that old woman yells out "fascist" and starts breaking and starts fucking firing away.
Yeah.
I think that starts funny, and then of course when she gets her end and the fucking thing falls on her head and she slams into the car.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool scene. I like that a lot.
She's dead.
Yeah, but the humor that goes on between the Andes and then that other girl, whenever she says it twice, whenever she's radioing in to like this other person.
Oh.
And they're like,
look at his horse.
Sergeant Angel's like, look at his horse. And he's like, right there.
Horse. Yeah.
And then look at his horse. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that would be considered my favorite parts of the movies whenever Timothy Dalton or the Andes are.
Timothy Dalton has some of the his fucking lines are so funny.
And again, like him playing a villain is really great because I mean he's a really good villain in The Rocketeer.
Yeah.
And he almost is playing like the same person just in this.
Yeah.
Setting.
Like he's just being himself, but like his lines are different and his motivation is different, but like
I almost don't remember him being 007, you know?
I mean, it's because of the mustache, isn't it?
Probably, yeah.
So,
Now, what about you? What about you, Daniel? Do you have any favorite parts in the movie?
I'm gonna say like word to everything you guys brought up, but one of the favorite scenes I had was just like a quick exchange between Danny and Nicholas in the fucking supermarket during like the last like shootout scene or whatever. But when Nicholas joins him up after taking Lurch out, fucking Danny's like, "What happened to Lurch?" He's like, "Oh, like, he's in like the cooler or something like that." He's like, "Did you tell him something cool or whatever?" He's like, "No, but earlier when I was fighting Lurch, I did instruct him with a bunny and then told him playtime's over."
Yeah.
And then fucking
I smashed him in the face with the peace lily.
"You're off the fucking chain," and just racks the shotgun and they go into battle. Like, that's just fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess on that note, all of the funny questions that Danny would ask him, like, have you ever, jumped in the air shooting your guns? Have you ever been in a car chase? Have you ever shot your gun during a car chase? Like
during a car chase, yeah. If is it true that there's a place
in the man's head, yeah.
If you shoot it, it will explode. Yeah, you fucking ask that to a room of children listening. Yeah.
All right. So, are there any other parts in this movie that we kind of like gave a big old?
Is that why she left you? Why? Because you did it with a plant.
So we talked about favorite parts. Soundtrack was whatever, just background music.
Yeah.
Nothing to write home about on that. I could say the same thing for Shaun of the Dead as well.
Oh shit!
But
I wish I could cancel those letters to my parents then.
So again, this is second part of the Cornetto Trilogy, also written and directed by Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg, and then of course starring Simon Pegg.
Mind you, everyone, the links between these fucking movies so far are so ephemeral. One mention of Cornetto per movie is what's doing it so far.
Yes, but also the fact that it is written and directed and stars the same cast.
Details.
So, little details here and there. Calls for a trilogy, or in this case, a sequel. Not really a sequel, but So, there are like some more theoretical ways that this is connected, but those are just overreaching on how you can look for anything in this and like try to find some kind of meaning between each movie. And I mean, there hasn't been a point in time or any sort of it's either written on record or video where any of the creators of these movies have said that there's anything deeper as far as like the meanings and how they're connected in some way.
The further I've gone along with this trilogy, the more I've thought about that one video you sent about like the theory where it's all tied to like, what was it, like adolescence and like blah 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 blah. I thought that was fucking. I think it's more stupid and baseless as I go along.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Is like it's just someone overreaching. You can kind of find.
Oh no,
but
no,
in any sort of meaning,
like that one video, like when I first watched it, and this is before I'd like rewatched the first two movies. I was like, oh, actually, that kind of tracks. And then after watching, it was like, no, this is complete horseshit.
Well, we'll see how it all kind of ties together. If there's anything deeper, whenever we go into The World's End, which is the last in the Cornetto Trilogy. So let's get into ratings. And as far as this movie is concerned, this on IMDb, it does have a 7.8 out of 10. Mm-hmm. And let me see here. The budget for this film was $8 million.
Oh wow!
And well, that could be. It says estimated, so
yeah,
that's $8 million, maybe less than 10. The gross in the U.S. was 23.6 million, and worldwide it was 80.7 million.
That sounds cool.
So I mean, it was pretty successful. When I first saw it, I mean, it didn't hit me as close as Shaun of the Dead because I thought Shaun of the Dead was really, really funny, and for some reason, it didn't really hit the first time I saw this movie. So after rewatching it a few times, I find that it's even funnier than the the first time I saw it. So maybe just my head was in a different space or something. I don't know, but it is a really good movie.
There's a lot of shit to like keep not really to keep track of, but you can miss a lot of little things.
Yeah,
there's so much dialogue that there's but it's all really funny. So, but because it's so goddamn like casually like thrown in there or out there, and a lot of the points it's easy to miss. Until the big stuff, like when the fucking journalist gets his head caved in by a fucking piece of the church roof or whatever, like that was the point in the movie when I was like, oh man, now this is really interesting, because like they do it so well. Like it's really fucking cool how the guy's face gets like impaled by that, I guess, fucking I don't know what the hell to call it. It's a part of the roof. It fucking impales him, and like as his head is crushed or whatever, like with this piece of the roof sticking out of his body, like he keeps walking for like a couple of seconds, and like they're playing like some alien music or some kind of like horror woo in the background, and it just made me laugh. But like it was also kind of like, fuck, that's cool, or kind of dark. And so after that point, I watched it a shitload more times. It's great. I still try to see what I can catch watching it.
Oh yeah, I've caught a lot of different things just watching it. I think this like sixth time. Yeah. I saw it last week, and I saw it this week, and I just catch like every like minor things, especially if you just take your eyes off, or you're just not listening for like a few seconds.
Yeah,
like you can literally catch a new thing that they do.
I mean, yeah, I had to watch it one last time we were talking to even remember or hear that, like, oh yeah, he does say Cornetto in there, because I didn't for the longest time even know that was a thing. I was like, oh cool, okay. And when like you watch that scene when he says it, he just says one word, and it's like not even half a second out of his mouth before boom, like they change scenes and they're eating ice cream. So it wasn't really like it was very easy to miss. And yeah. Sucked.
Well, I guess as far as ratings are concerned, we'll start with Daniel this time. What is your rating of Hot Fuzz?
Oh no! Out of 5, like a 3. It's enjoyable, but it's funny and shit, but just not something I want to watch over and over and over. Which for a comedy movie is a prerequisite for me.
Yeah.
All right. I'll give mine. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. The more I watch this movie, the more I enjoy it. There's been a few times where I've kind of just like brushed it off, like it wasn't, like I said, didn't hit me the first time. So attempting to watch it a second time wasn't in the cards for me. But then I put it on, sat through it, and I find it funnier the more I watch it. So 4 out of 5 for me. And what about you, Roland?
I'd give it a 4.5. I am kind of biased, but I've also tried to find things about this movie not to like, and I don't really have anything. So that's why I'm going to give it a pretty high score.
It's funny, you can enjoy something, and you're like, you know what? I can't enjoy it this much.
Right, yeah. There's got to be something here. Yeah, exactly. Like, why the fuck? What are my problems with this movie? And I don't have any.
I hate to think that you take this approach on every aspect of your life, Roland.
I won't comment to that.
So 4 out of 5 for you.
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah.
4.5. Sorry.
4.5.
All right. I hope to find or hope that you can mention a movie that you like just as much as this one. But as far as I'm aware, like you don't have one.
No, I really don't. I'd have to really think about it. Well. So the ones that I'm thinking of aren't really movies; they're TV series, so that doesn't count. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think
I'll throw a movie out there. You give me a quick rating without having to have watched it, and I'm almost certain we all have watched it. And so you said this one was 4 out of 5. What about Predator?
4.5. 4.5. 4.5. Predator, I'd probably give that like a 2.5, 3.
What?
Maybe. There's no story there. There's no acting. It's mostly funny. There's cool action, and it's all about the Predator. So, like this movie has a kind of, a lot of different fucking scenes, fucking whole new, well, like a lot more fucking good actors in it.
Well, I'm pretty sure the audience on Sunday mornings on Channel 4, in between selling the siding for your house, that audience would beg to differ on your.
Yeah, the fucking Sunday matinee bitches. Yeah, God.
You know they're doing that shit again, right?
Oh, really? Wow.
They did. It's not matinee, but it was towards the end of the evening. They're showing Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Well, fuck them. Either way, I couldn't give a shit. What
about you, Daniel? Predator.
Like a 2.5. It's pretty forgettable overall. Like in the realm
of that's what the
entire scope of like alien meets man interaction stories.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're not looking for stories. You're looking for action and body mass.
Well, that's why those are two completely different movies.
I didn't stutter, motherfucker. Told you what I was looking for.
I was looking for Predator titties, and I was disappointed in every fucking sequel. Never. We had to wait for the goddamn video game before they finally made a female Predator. Wasted. And she is hot. No, I don't know.
Okay, I'll throw out one more movie. Let's see.
Rambo. Oh, fuck off. First Blood?
Yeah, First Blood.
Part 2.
No, First Blood.
You know what? I gave Predator, a 2 or 2.5? 2.5, right?
You said like 2.5, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give fucking Rambo a 2. Predator is a way better movie to me, and like the story to First Blood, I can't stand it. I think it's so it irritates me. It's so stupid. The action is all that's literally all that movie has to itself. Because if you pay attention to the fucking story, it's absolute trash.
There's not much action. Like real action in that movie? There's like more hand-to-hand combat.
And like, when you think about it, Rambo's a fucking asshole. Like, he fucks up the National Guard, which really, they're like, they're
just stooges. Yeah.
They're stooges, yeah. They're fucking has-been half-assers that, like, get fucking murdered. Like, he fucks them up, like, and because he... Well, like, in his defense, like, he has hardcore PTSD, but on their end, like, or on his end, like, it's not always with him, kind of thing. Like, he's rational to a fault, when they push him, and he has his fucking, like, breakdown moments. But up until that, like, he knows why they fucking, like, don't want him in their town. Like, he knows why, like, the fucking sheriffs pick him up and shit. It's because he looks shady as fuck, and he doesn't try to, like, explain it. He's just like, I'm minding my own business. What? Leave me alone. And they're like, no, fuck you. Get the fuck out of here. And he's like,
Daniel, what about you on Rambo? Like, quick.
2.85.
2.85. All right. All right.
You sympathize with the plight of the Rambo as a
I do
marginalized, exploited,
I do,
and
absolutely
abandoned character. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In today's society.
Jamie, are you there?
Of course she is.
What?
I can see you, motherfucker.
Oh, I can't see him. So.
Oh. The shirt is off. Yeah. Yep. Now the tits are up. Get the fuck you, Jamie. God damn it.
Jamie, do you have a movie that you think is fucking like 5, and we can just give you a quick rating if we've seen it or not?
Sniper. If you could see his face.
I can't see his face.
Oh, he's yeah.
Sniper's really fucking good.
Okay, no, okay, Jamie, how about this? Tombstone.
Oh fuck yeah. Yeah, Tombstone.
Roland.
What about it? What about
Tombstone?
Me?
Yeah.
Tombstone's an amazing fucking movie, man. I love Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday.
Quick rating. Go.
Shit.
Go.
I'll give that one a 4. Easy. There
Daniel?
are like so many good actors in that goddamn movie. Fucking Kurt Russell, Sam Elliott, Val Kilmer.
Quick reviews, Roland. Quick reviews.
Yeah, quick. So you can shut up now.
Yeah, like that ever works.
Daniel, quick rating.
5 out of
Tombstone.
5. Done.
5 out of 5. All right.
Good for you.
Okay. So last segment that we're gonna do is Does It Porn Parody? And
Parody.
I went on Pornhub. I just typed in Hot Fuzz, and the only thing that pops up is super hot, perfect body, multiple orgasm fuck. Fuzz 65. Hot brunette. Hold on. Hot brunette with big tits asked me to fuck her slowly, and the face my best friend make when she feels me come inside her.
Yes, that is.
And one more here that I'll throw out after typing in Hot Fuzz. It says, hot MILF drinks her own creamy pussy juice.
Ugh.
And just in Google, I typed in Hot Fuzz and nothing pops up. The first thing that pops up, which I thought it was, but it says it's from the Dallas Observer, was Fuzzbusters. But that is not anything porn parody related. Okay, so obviously it doesn't porn parody. That's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll bring this episode to a close. Follow us on all the social medias. Oh, just real quick. This movie, again, not intentional, but the last movie we did talk about, Last Action Hero and Hot Fuzz, are both parodies of like action movies, or they make fun of action movies. Coincidence or reptilians? You be the judge.
Coincidence, probably.
Yeah, well, you'd like it to be reptilians, wouldn't you? Sheesh.
Who wouldn't?
You probulator sympathizer.
Reptilians.
Yeah.
Okay, so follow us on all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at MoQuest Studios. You can follow us or go to our website and subscribe there at MoQuest Studios or moqueststudios.com. And if you want to subscribe to our Patreon to get free, or not free, but content that is exclusive, unedited episodes, all of the bloopers that you hear here or don't hear on the regular episodes, you can check out on Patreon. And is there like another spiel I go through? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This was Roland's last birthday month movie, his favorite movie.
Yeah, so
according to legend.
Next we have it's right, exactly. According to legend. Next we have what is it? At the World's End?
It's The World's End, yeah.
The World's End.
Yeah.
Are we
that one's gonna be video.
Shit.
That
when are we gonna try to do that? At the end of the month?
Well, we'll figure it out. Since technically we're open for business now. We may be able to, since we can't gather in groups of 10 or more because of this virus. We don't have enough friends to cover that amount of people.
No, we don't.
So I think we're good.
Yeah.
So The World's End is going to be on video. We'll discuss the terms as it comes closer to recording, and then if you happen to want to follow along, if we get live stream going, then we can try that. If not, we can probably live stream on Patreon, and you can check it out there. We can do it for free, whichever. But we will be doing a video, playing a game as we talk about The World's End.
Oh, yes, we will.
So...
Hide the salami.
Hide the salami. Yeah. So, that'll be it for us.
You can't play, Jamie. You always win.
Yeah.
I think Jamie is going to play this time.
Yeah.
But he'll be like playing off screen and kind of handling our technical issues.
Word.
But I'm pretty sure he's capable if he's inebriated, so should be all right.
Yeah, I always win those types of games.
Sounds so humble over there. You sound so humble over there, Jamie.
Yeah.
Well, I try my hardest to win, so.
All right, so my name is Ray, coming from my own studios here at the house. You can hear Jamie at the main MoQuest studios at his place, kind of just
Beer
coming
Cave.
in and out every so often. Beer Cave, pardon me. And Roland in Nowhere Land Studios.
Yes, that's me. Nowhere Landia.
Yes. And Pacific Northwest Studios.
This is Daniel.
All right. We'll see you next Cinequest, next podcast, next live stream,
Watch
hopefully.
the fucking movie.
Yeah, watch Hot Fuzz, man. It's fucking funny, so
yeah.
check it out.
It's pretty funny. And if you've seen it or haven't seen it, whatever, watch it again.
The shit's really funny, guys. Check it out.
Yep.
All right. Happy birthday, Roland.
Meh.
You old motherfucker.
Yay. I'm alive, so that's great.
Give hope to the audience out there. Goddamn.
Right. Live. Survive. Hooray.
I assure you, people listening, he will not be dead by next episode, okay?
No, I'll still be alive.